Welcome back to Pearl Media, where truth meets perspective. Today, we're diving into another classic Kevin Samuels moment. Let's get into it.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Samuels. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
47.
All right. So why are modern women so offended today?
Well, I can't speak for all women, okay?
Who
I
can? Okay. I'm always curious when I hear you ladies say that. I can't speak for all women. Who can then?
Well, you know what? I mean, I do speak up about women's behavior. You go on my live, I
Well,
do
what
speak about
I'm curious because when I'm basically that's a filler statement saying I can't speak for all women. Okay, then who on the planet can speak for all of anything?
we can speak for ourselves
No,
individually,
that's not. No, we
okay?
can't. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That is rank bullshit. You're my age. We can be real. If we cannot make generalizations that are broadly true, then how do
Mm-hmm.
we have a conversation? There's 7 billion different experiences on this planet.
Right.
It's called representative government. It's called representative conversation. If you have
Mm-hmm.
enough information, you can say this is more likely to happen, especially if you have the facts, figures, data, statistics.
No, you know what? I want to say something. Your initial conversation tonight was about men being able to ask women questions, right?
Why are women
And
so offended?
it is a general thing, which is very true, that women are uncomfortable when you ask them how much do they weigh, what is their
Why?
dress size.
Why? Why?
Hold on, I'm gonna speak on why in just a moment.
No,
Growing
that's
up,
hold on,
growing
hold on,
up,
hold on, hold on, hold on. First off, let's understand. Let's
hmm
have a. You have your point of view, I have my point of view, but I got
correct.
to run this show. Don't tell me to hold on my show.
No, it's not that I'm saying you.
I'm just
Asking.
saying. Okay, ma'am, if I interrupt you, I'm not doing it to be rude. It's for a reason.
Okay.
So the questions that women are asking, the same thing they ask of men. How tall are you? That's a number, right?
Right. Correct.
So why are women offended and they ask men the same stuff?
Because growing up, and this is what I was going to say to you, I grew up in a house. My mother and father were married. I have 5 brothers and there's 8 girls. And a lot of times, men, I have a lot of siblings. Men are raised to not ask those questions, and women are told it's inappropriate, right? So this is what happens when you're growing up.
No, no.
Yes, because
Well,
my brothers were told
okay,
don't
okay,
ask a woman
but
these
hold on, hold on, hold
questions.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. But then, are you single or are you married?
I'm divorced.
Okay, then if we're gonna play that game,
Mm-hmm.
then women should be married women should be getting married in their early 20s, so none of these questions need to be asked. If we're gonna play that, it's improper to ask a woman their height, weight, age, such and so forth, because it's the gentlemanly thing to do. If that's the case, then women should act like ladies and get off the market early on and be married for the rest of their life and stay. Then you wouldn't have to
Okay.
ask the questions in their 40s. But if you're
Well, you
single,
know
you got
what
to
the
ask
thing
single
is?
people
That's what I'm going to
questions.
tell you. When I was pregnant with my sons, I was very heavy. I've never had a problem with it's being transparent. It,
Were you married at the
yes,
time?
I was married. Yes,
Okay. Who?
and it's
What
about
single
being.
man? Hold on, man. But what single man is asking you about your weight, your pregnancy weight?
No, I said people used to ask me how much I weighed
Okay,
because
man.
I was really
Okay. See,
big.
I'm talking about single people. If you were
Okay.
married,
Hmm.
I'm like, I shouldn't have to. I mean, maybe I should have to. Why would a single man ask you, "Hey, mom, I know you're married. How much you weigh?" That don't even make any sense.
But you know what? You got to understand
I
this.
don't have to understand. That don't
Single
make no
men,
sense.
okay, but I'm just saying my experience. Single men approached me while I was married. I'm not rude, and that's the thing. You say you can't ask women questions, you can't speak
A
to
single
them,
man
but
approach
you
you
have
out the
women
clear
that are
blue, and you
very
got to now
friendly.
you can't overtalk me. A single man approach you out the clear blue, you got a wedding ring on, and you pregnant. He says, "Hey, how you doing? How much you weigh?" Get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
No, no,
Get
no,
out of here with
no,
that bullshit.
no.
Bye. No, absolutely not. You just talking.
You know, from the very first words out of her mouth, I knew exactly where this was going. She's 47 years old and she called in with nothing but nonsense. And Kevin was not having it. He shut that down fast. Here's the thing. When you've lived almost 5 decades on this planet, you should have at least a little self-awareness. But instead, she came in over talking, dodging questions, and throwing attitude like that was going to prove her point. It didn't. It just made her look more and more lost. She didn't listen, she didn't process, she was so wrapped up in what she wanted to say that she forgot she was the one calling in for advice. If you're seeking wisdom from someone, the first rule is stop talking long enough to actually hear it. Now let's be real, 47 is not the end of the road, but it is the time when the dating market is brutally honest. At that age, your leverage is not the same as it was in your 20s or even 30s. And that's okay, as long as you understand it and adjust accordingly. But she didn't want to adjust. She wanted to argue. Every time Kevin tried to guide the conversation toward reality, toward what men in her target range actually look for, she swerved right back into fantasy land. It's like she believed that talking over him was going to somehow rewrite the truth. Spoiler alert, it didn't. And that's the dangerous thing about overconfidence without self-awareness. You can talk yourself right out of opportunities without even realizing it. The inability to stop, listen, and reflect is one of the fastest ways to stay stuck. Ladies, and I say this with respect, if you're calling into a show like Kevin's, you have to come prepared to hear some uncomfortable truths. That's the point. If you can't handle it, you're not ready to grow. At 47, your time is too valuable to waste it arguing with reality. The better move is to take the advice, think about how it applies to your life, and make the changes you can make. Because over-talking, over-explaining, and overpowering the conversation, that's not power. That's fear hiding behind words. And the sad part is, she could have actually learned something valuable that day, but instead, she left with the same mindset she came in with, and the dating market isn't going to change to fit it.